Hello everyone, welcome to my channel ID Guru. I am Anura and today we are going to learn about storyboarding. Now I will be covering this in parts and it will be too difficult to understand everything at one go. So instead of bombarding you with too much information, let us go step by step. So what you are seeing on screen is something that an ID receives from their client or from the SME who is the subject matter expert. So every time your client will have somebody who is technically in charge of the content. If you remember, the ID, like I had told you previously, is subject neutral. That is, anything under the sun can come to the ID's desk. So as you can see on screen, this is a PowerPoint presentation. Now, other than this, what can come to you is a Wikipedia or a PDF, a Word file, or a bunch of PowerPoint presentations. Anything can come to you. And what is expected of you is that you go through the entire presentation and tell them what would be a best fit for them. So after that, you start storyboarding. Before that, first just analyze the content and try and understand what is it that they are trying to teach. Teach or digitize would be a better word. So if you remember content types, remember facts, concepts, procedure, processes and principles. 5 types of contents. So let us try and understand what is this that you see on screen. So this is something to do with healthcare, right? What you can see on screen. If you see, look at keywords, healthcare, business, integrity. And induction training is already mentioned. So you know that this is something to do with training. So if you see on the next screen, you are looking at the healthcare business integrity in global business. So what is it that they are trying to teach? Something to do with healthcare. Now as the ID, you don't need to get into too much of technical details. For that, you have a subject matter expert or an SME from the client end. They are people who are technically sound. That is, if you don't understand anything, you simply ask them. Don't try and Google it or figure it out on your own and waste time. Instead, you have a list of questions which you ask the SME. And once they answer, you proceed. If you absolutely can't understand. Instead, suppose you have some sort of a doubt, but you're almost there, then you can cover whatever you're trying to finish, that is, you're trying to create the design document and send it with a bunch of questions. So what happens is the SME can look at both of them together. So let's take a look at the presentation first. So what are you seeing? Some guiding principles that are there on screen. Now if you notice, there is something written in the note section also. So it is not just what is there on the screen, but also in the note section. So if you read it, it is telling you what the principles are consistent with. So keep that in mind and then move ahead. So guiding principles, like if you're seeing what I'm doing, I'm not reading every detail. I'm just taking an overview. So what was their guiding principles? Then standards, what are they with respect to? That is, governing interactions are with whom? So basically, who is this, whatever this training is, who is it related to? Healthcare professionals, government officials. And if you see down again, every time look at the note section if any information is being provided to you. So some other body, HCCO, can give reference or include local industry code. So basically this is something that you can write on the screen. We'll see if it is needed or not. Now as the ID, it is expected of you to decide what to include and exclude. Now, if you have a doubt whether you should do this or not, ask the SME. But if you are absolutely sure, then you can delete or add. But don't add things you don't know. By add, I meant add things which are given in the source content. So this type of a document is called the source file. Now, from the source file, you decide what to take. Now, please understand, source file can also be used for the developer. That is, when developers later code all of this, whatever they create is also called as a source file because it has the algorithm or the source code. So don't misunderstand the two terms. For the ID, it has one meaning, and for the developer, it has another meaning. So as we were taking a look at the PowerPoint presentation, we saw something to do with healthcare. Who is it for? Which bodies does it apply to? Some act, that is FCPA, its provisions, laws and regulations, documentations, consequences of non-compliance. Again, whom does it apply to? So basically, you see this is repeating HCPs and government officials. So you know that you're supposed to cover these two personalities. Then interactions with HCPs and HCPs under Geo. So basically now what is getting emphasized is that you're supposed to create this training for two types of people. One is the healthcare professional and second is the government officials. So you see I'm starting to segregate content already while reading this only. Interactions involving value transfers. So now this has something to do with money. That is fees for services, sponsorships, and documentations. So interactions with those SCPs again, that is one type of people, and involving value transfer. So something to do with money. Again, common interactions, value transfer, same thing, sponsorship going on. So now sponsorship was there and something to do with transfers and pre and post approval documents. So now sponsorship is going ahead, pre-approval, post-approval. What happens? And post, there is some event. So now if you see here already I am at slide 18 and it is already getting a little too detailed, right? So what you do as the ID is, now this is getting too detailed. So instead of going to the end of the file, what you do is that you go back to the start and try and create one design document for the SME or your client to understand how this is going to look. Now as the ID, what did you understand till now? What I would say is, what did I understand is, this is not a fact, firstly. This is not any procedure. Neither is it any process or a principle. So then what is it? I thought it is some sort of a concept that I'm supposed to cover, right? Now, if you differ from what I'm thinking, then that is fine. It is just that you should be able to justify your design. Now, for me, I think that this is some sort of a concept to do with the healthcare industry and I have to convert this. Now, when I convert this, I will try and think of which type of interactions I would like to include so that this becomes easier for any type of a learner to learn from. Right now, if you look at it, it is a little difficult for a first time learner to understand. But if anybody has to figure it out on their own, then it should be easy. So till here, I think I have helped you in understanding simply how to go through any type of a source file, something that just comes to you as a dump. You go through it and try and segregate it immediately while you're reading. Don't go into too much of details. Remember 5 types of concepts, which we have already learned. Facts, concepts, processes, procedures, and principles. Now, out of these 5, we figured that this falls into the category of concepts. Now, concepts related to that, we already know that there are a lot of types of graphics that you can include, but that is a later on topic. At the moment, we can stop here. Next time, what we will see is that once you have figured out that content which has come to you is a type of concept or it is a type of process, whatever it is, you have already segregated it, then you can start storyboarding it, that is designing it. Now, how to do that, we will cover in the next session. I hope this was clear. In case you have any doubt, then please put it in the comment section and I will try and address it. If you would like me to get more detailed into this type of content segregation, then also tell me. I will try and show you more different types of examples where it is not PPTs. Instead, you have different types of PDFs or files. You just have all kinds of dumps that come to you. If you want me to cover that, then please mention it in the comment section. So next time we will meet and look at how to convert this into a your file, that is your storyboard. How to convert this into a design document. So till then, take care. We will meet next time.